Do I sound like Morgan Freeman? Hey everybody, it's Maddie. Obviously it's Maddie. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel. If you're new here, probably not. Most of my viewers are my loyal viewers. Shout out to Kat. I just wanted to put a little disclaimer in the beginning of this because I'm going to be talking about a lot of shows and I'm going to be spoiling a lot of shows. So if you hear me mention a name of a show that you have intended to watch, haven't got to yet, or you don't know if you want to watch it, but you don't want it spoiled for you, just skip that part. I'm going to try to put some time codes in the description. Sorry, my dogs, they're just always barking. While everyone's probably being a little more productive, maybe reading a book, painting, I don't know, doing stuff with their life, I watch a lot of shit. I decided to dive more into Netflix originals that I love. I hope you enjoy the video about Netflix originals. Do I sound like Morgan Freeman? It's like the furthest away from Morgan Freeman. Okay, I'm gonna get into it. Enjoy. I didn't realize how many things were Netflix originals that I had watched. Obviously, the iconic first Netflix original, Orange is the New Black. I loved the first 2 seasons, and then I watched the third, and then it just started to get old. I don't even know where it's at right now. Is it ended? I don't know. Let's talk about the last Netflix original that came out that has taken the world by storm. And I do this with every show slash album slash like anything. I'm always like, when there's a lot of people watching it, I don't want to jump on the bandwagon because I want to feel like a hipster. I want to feel like I either discover something new or I'm just like watching different stuff. It always happens, and then I end up watching it, and then I end up falling in love with it like everybody else. So if you could guess, I'm talking about Outer Banks on Netflix. Outer Banks is about, it's almost like, I would compare it kind of like to like the base story of like The Outsiders, which was the greasers and the Socs, right? The Socs. Instead, this is the Pogues and the Kooks, the poor kids and the rich kids. And it's so cheesy. It is so cheesy, but it is so good. Like, you know those shows that are so cheesy and like so not believable, but you're just like, I need to keep watching this. So I'm going to talk more about it. Now, I'm probably going to spoil some stuff. So, if you haven't watched this yet and you want to watch it, maybe skip. I might put time codes in the description so that you can skip through it so I don't spoil anything for you. Okay, let's just start with this first. First of all, John B, totally overrated. Okay, he's cute. He's whatever. But JJ is the love of my life. He is scarred. Has been through it. There's something about broken men that just gets me. I don't know why. But those piercing blue eyes and that blonde hair, I just love him. When I first started watching it, the first episode, excuse me. We don't have water in the house, so I just keep drinking soda. I watched the first episode and I was like, I want to be her. She's so cute. She wears like the cutest bracelets. She wears like the cutest outfits. But they're supposed to be like sophomores or juniors in high school. Like they're supposed to be 16. No, that's not. Those are the things I'm talking about. Like clearly they are not 16. Like at 16, I guess I was like going to parties, but I wasn't like mature like that. I don't know. Like I was still like a little kid. Like, I get when they cast people who are older because they can, like, handle the part and, like, they might have been through it, so they understand it. But it's like, dude, at least make them 17 or 18 or, like, just graduating high school because that would be more believable. It's basically about the Pogues and the Kooks. And the Pogues and the Kooks, the Pogues are the poor kids and the Kooks are the rich kids. They come upon this boat and they find a hotel key, and that's where it all starts. This fucking dog, that's why I need like soundproof, because these dogs are like, what are you barking at? There's like one person that comes down the road every like half an hour and you're yelling at them. Like, imagine every time we saw someone outside, we were like, go away, go away, go away. This is my house. My sister kind of does that. They go into the safe. Lots of money. There's a gun in there. And basically, it's just this whole thing. It's just like, I don't even know the time span because it seems like everything just happens so quickly. And by the end of it, John B is running away because he is getting arrested for, what the hell is he getting arrested for? For murdering someone? I can't believe I forgot about all this. That's what happens when you binge things. Like, I'm such a big binger, so when I binge things, I'm like, what what even happened? But basically, by the end, John B and Maddie were dating. He took them in. He found out that Maddie's dad killed his dad, who he thought was just missing, but he died because of this gold that they had found on the Royal Merchant. Or they wanted to find it on the Royal Merchant. And it's just so crazy. And then basically the cops get involved, and then the cop is about to arrest Maddie's dad, but then Maddie's brother shoots the cop, and it gets blamed on John B, and John B's on the run because John B was there, so they pin it on John B, and Maddie is like unaware that the brother isn't getting in trouble, but John B is. So then they like see all these signs up in the town, so they're running from the cops. This is the part that gets me a little angry, because there's a point where John B is right near a cop where he knows this cop. Not that they're like best buddies or anything, but he knows him, and like he's in a situation where he could talk to him calmly and like figure everything out, but I guess that would take away from like the chase and everything. But like, dude, you could have literally told the cop that you didn't kill this guy. You could have told him the entire story, or you could have been arrested and then still told your story. And realistically, this just wouldn't happen. Like, a teenager could not get away, but obviously TV's not realistic. So I love that show. Great Netflix original. I see a movie that I really liked. It's called Someone Great. It's such a good breakup movie. It's sad, but it also has like, you know, it has a realistic ending. It has the actor who plays Jane and Jane the Virgin, Gina Rodriguez. I don't know why I thought her name would be more complicated, but it's not. It's about her and this guy. They've been together forever, but she is in a place. They basically it's just, you know, it's a typical like they've been together since the end of college. But they're just in two different places in their life, and it's just not gonna work. It's just not best for both of them. And, you know, they were a great couple and they loved each other, but it just wasn't going to work. So it's basically just the story of her getting through this breakup and like, you know, the highs and lows of getting through a breakup, like realistically, because, you know, there's days after a breakup where you're like fine and you're just like, yeah, let's do this, like let's go out and party and like having a good time, and then the next day you're just like crying. And it's like it's a very relatable movie. It's really, really good. I highly recommend it. It's like cheesy enough, but it's also like pretty realistic, at least in my opinion. Okay, unpopular opinion. I did like season 2, but I liked season 1. I know that everybody like hated Beck. And like, yeah, she wasn't that lovable of a character. She was annoying. She really wasn't that great to be with. Like, she just was like, whatever. And obviously love is so much more complex. The reason why I liked season 1 a little bit better, just more of like Joe as a character, I like season 1 better. The reason why I liked the first season better was just because Joe was so authentically psychotic. Like, it actually reminds me of a short story that I read in my creative writing. Short story. Yeah, it was a short story class. So The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, I sound like a teacher, is about this guy who, he basically has this obsession with this old man. And this old man has this it probably is an eye that like is getting cataracts, so it looks like a little creepy, and the guy thinks that his eye is evil. So throughout the beginning of the story, the character is trying to rationalize, like, I'm not crazy, people keep telling me I'm crazy, but I'm not, this guy's eye is evil, and just like, you know, is so obsessed with this eye, and then he ends up killing the guy because of his eye. He ends up burying him under the floorboard. The cops come, and then, you know, he's trying to say he didn't do it, and then he hears this guy's heart beating. Obviously, it's not really a heartbeat, but it's just like the guilt is just too much for him, and it's also like, I think, a reminder that he knows that he's crazy, and that's never gonna go away. He tried to kill whatever demon it was inside of his head, but he couldn't. That was deep. But the moral of the story is that it's very like that, in the sense that Joe in the first season is trying to convince you that he's not insane. He's like, oh, you know, like, I watch her and she's so beautiful and I want her. And it's just like the way that he is talking about it, it's almost like he sounds sweet and so nice about everything, but like, you're like, wait, but he's like stalking this girl, and like, he wants to protect her and he wants to do all these nice things for her and get to know her, but he's psychotic. But you almost are sympathizing with him, but then you're like, wait, no, he's crazy. So that's what I really like about the first season. The second season, the cast is so much better. Love is obviously much more of a complex character, and the only thing that annoyed me about this season, the second season, was the ending. They're moving into a new house, and by the end of it, you get a zoom in to the neighbor's house. It's a woman outside in her backyard, alluding to the fact that he's going to be obsessed with their neighbor next. The reason that like kind of made me angry, because obviously they need to set up something for the next season, that made me angry just because it was like, it's just too forced now. I just feel like the authenticity of the show kind of went down in the second season. Well, obviously Stranger Things, I mean, but that's beaten to death, so we won't talk about that. Black Mirror obviously is probably one of the most iconic Netflix originals. I mean, man, it makes you freaking think. If you want to watch a depressing movie with no happy ending and you're just sad the entire time, watch All the Bright Places. Did you watch it? Because if you did, you know what I'm talking about. Did you leave if you didn't watch it, or if you don't want to watch it? Her sister died, and she ends up meeting this guy. She does a project with him, and, you know, they connect on a very deep level, and you're happy because you're like, she found somebody that she connects with. And the way that they met was, she was about to throw herself off of a bridge because of everything that she was going through, and he basically saved her life. So you see this relationship grow, and it's beautiful, kind of, and then by the end, he kills himself. What the fuck is that? Like, I get it. Be realistic, you know, not everything has a happy ending. But to kill himself? Like, he can't just move away. He can't just be like, okay, you know, like, we've had this connection, but, and, you know, I'll always be with you, but, like, I'm going to fucking Alaska or something, and I'll never see you again. Like, okay, whatever. At least he's still alive. But he kills himself, and then by the end, she's fine. I mean, she's not fine. She's heartbroken, but, like, what? She's like, oh, like, she's like, okay, and makes peace with it. Bullshit. So, I hate reality TV, okay? I will sometimes find myself, if it's on the TV, I'll stop and, like, watch it for a second because it interests me for, like, a second. That's, like, the bad thing about reality TV. Like, it's so bad, but you just want to see what happens, you know? But I despise it. I hate it because it's all scripted. I mean, not all scripted, but, like, it's planned. It's not reality TV. Okay, it's just not. Reality TV is not reality TV. How there's the only thing that's like closest to reality TV, I think, is like more of like stuff like the Discovery Channel and like Animal Planet. Like those are reality TV because it's real stuff. Like they're doing real stuff. But anyway, I'm talking about like Housewives and Kardashians. Like it makes me so angry that we as a society, myself included, care about other people's lives so much that we will spend our time invested in their lives while we're not living ours. That's just something that irks me. But 2 reality shows that I love on Netflix are Love is Blind and The Circle. So let's start with The Circle, because The Circle is the first one that I watched. The Circle is very hard to explain. It's basically a game show where you come in and you basically have to be like the most likable person is really what it is. And there's some twists in it. So you can come in as whoever you want. So you can catfish everybody at the show. It's almost like Big Brother, but with different twists, and nobody is seeing each other face to face. So they all have their own little like apartments, and they communicate via chat. So there's no like voice chat or anything. It's just like strictly like IMing each other. It was a really like intriguing show. It was interesting because it wasn't just like about people. It was like, you know, people would like open up with other people to get themselves more brownie points with people, or like, you know, they would team up with people. Like it's a weird concept because it's hard to measure it, but it's really just people's opinions of other people, and they rank people. If they don't like somebody, they rank them at the end, at the bottom of the list, and then they're out. Love is Blind was really cool because obviously Love is Blind, they don't see each other, they're both behind walls talking to each other, dating, and it's just so funny to see what people talk about and how people connect without seeing each other. But the crazy thing to me was like people were literally confessing their love for each other within 7 days, and I'm like, dude, like that just doesn't happen. I mean, I don't think. I mean, what happens is they end up asking each other to marry them. So like the end goal was for them to fall in love, obviously, but it just seemed very it was just crazy. And yeah, so those are 2 reality shows that I enjoyed on Netflix. But when I end a show, I am so sad. Like, irrationally sad. Like, I'll just like, when I know that a show is coming to an end, I'm like, okay, I need to prepare for another show. Like, I need to figure out like what the next show is so that I don't have like time in between the shows where I have nothing, because I have an issue where I'm always watching something, guys. I'm always watching something. I'm either watching Netflix, watching YouTube, listening to a podcast, listening to music. There's no point in my life where I'm just like in dead silence, unless like I'm reading for like 10 minutes during the day. Yeah, but I just have a weird obsession with like all of the shows I watch. I get really super connected to the characters. And you just like feel like they're your friends. Like you feel like you're a part of their world. I have that thing where it's just like, I want to be a part of their world. Like that was a big thing for me in Skins. Skins was so good. Skins was so good. Effie is everything to me. There's one movie that I really want to watch. It's actually a documentary. It's called The Secret Love, and it's about this lesbian couple who've been together since the 40s and didn't tell anyone until 2 years ago. I'm probably gonna watch that. Maybe I'll watch it this week and then get back to you. This was more of like a spoiler thing. Hopefully, like if I do another one of these, I don't spoil as much stuff, but I'm like, once I talk about something, I like really want to get into it, and like I don't want to hold back, you know. So sorry if there are spoilers and if I spoiled it for you, but I did give you a forewarning. Anyway, thank you for watching. Happy Monday. I hope you have a great week. This week, play a game with your family if you're quarantined with your family. You know, this is such a weird time, and you know, take advantage of that time that you have with your family, because, you know, it's time that you wouldn't have before, even though it's in really weird circumstances. But play a game with your family. I love playing games with my mom. She's a little competitive. She's actually really competitive. I will see you next Monday. Bye, guys.